Coming up on News 2, waste management officials discuss their budget at the Senate. Meanwhile, St. Croix waste haulers continue to fight to keep their existing contract intact. The first shipment of propane storage tanks for WAPA's LPG project arrived last month. WAPA gives an update on the conversion project. Plus, the VIPD talks about a Labor Day enforcement crackdown on drunk driving. Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Topping our newscast tonight, waste management officials had their turn in the Senate hot seat as they defended their fiscal year 15 budget. The agency says they are stretched thin and they're operating under a deficit this year. They say things are slated to get even worse if changes aren't made. News 2's Erica Parsons has the story.
2 days after St. Croix waste haulers went public about a possible breach in contract with the Waste Management Authority, the agency painted a grim picture of their financial situation for lawmakers.
At present, the sewer wastewater fund is in the red, and the other three funds are over appropriated and in the red.
Waste management officials testified that their fiscal year 14 budget was cut by 2%. They also lost an unexpected 88% appropriation from a special fund, resulting in an overall operating budget reduction of 24%. Agency head May Adams Cornwall said the authority has been cutting costs with reassignments, implemented shifts, and more insourcing of work at 3 wastewater treatment plants. Executive Director Cornwall says without help, they're facing a $5 million deficit by the end of this fiscal year and $17.5 million by the end of FY15. She does have a plan to address it. Waste Management wants to be self-sustaining, and the authority has proposed legislation to generate revenues and petitioned the Public Services Commission for fees to implement. They also plan to further cut spending with salary and personnel cuts, less contracts, reducing collection services, and consolidating or closing bin sites. Property taxes weren't collected to pay operating costs like paying the waste haulers.
One of the things you talked a lot about last year was the hope that you were going to be able to implement some of these fees to help make you more sustainable and less reliant on the general fund and meet more of your financial needs.
So without the fee implementation and new legislation, services that are vital to the health and safety of the community could be in jeopardy. Erica Parsons, News 2.
Waste management officials also requested a $28.3 million bond authorization from the Senate to complete closing the landfills so they'll be in compliance with the consent decree. Every Labor Day, national law enforcement agencies crack down on drunk driving leading up to the holiday. Statistics show that 1 in 34 people are killed nationally each hour during that time. VI police are also taking part in the initiative to step up efforts. They say from August 15th to September 1st, drive sober or get pulled over.
Driving while drunk isn't worth the tremendous risk. No matter your age, if you decide to drink, even just 1 or 2, you better find a safe and sober ride home, or your chance of getting arrested or worse is going to be high.
We want drivers to know that we don't tolerate drunk driving. No excuses, no warnings will be given. You'll be arrested.
Meanwhile, the VIPD is offering a $10,000 reward for any information that leads to arrests for the Federal Credit Union robbery that took place last week Friday.
I think that this is one of a very good opportunity for somebody who knows something to say something, come forward. We are asking you, please come forward. We have made some inroads into this investigation, and anything that you have to offer, we'll just put the cap on it. Again, there is a $10,000 reward.
Count on 2 to keep you updated. In other news, as of Wednesday, the Board of Elections still has not certified the primary elections. According to Election Supervisor Carolyn Fox, no totals will be released until both districts have fully completed the count. The board was still working on the write-ins as of Wednesday morning, according to Fox, and they will provide updates as soon as the process is complete. The last of the mailing ballots were received on Tuesday, August 12th, and both districts have started counting them in public as soon as they came in. Each district provided their latest unofficial totals to News 2 on Tuesday afternoon, which we have reported in Tuesday's newscast, but Based on information from the election system, those totals do not include data from up to 310 ballots. Be sure to count on 2 to keep you updated. 2 federal agencies sent representatives to the territory on the 6th and 7th of August to review the Bureau of Information Technology's use of FirstNet's state and local implementation grant program funds. They also interviewed VIPD MIS Director Kareem Christian, VITEMA's Director Elton Lewis, and VINGN's President and CEO Larry Kupmer, some of BIT's partners in the grant. According to Bureau of Information Technology Director Ruben Malloy, the representatives came away satisfied, and now BIT is just awaiting their official report. The VI's local efforts are dubbed FirstNet VI. The First Responders Authority, or FirstNet, was created to implement a nationwide public safety wireless broadband network dedicated for first responders. SLIGP is a granting program created to specifically help the states and territories participate in the federally mandated initiative. For a year now, the Water and Power Authority has been proudly pushing its conversion to propane and has reached milestones in the project. On Thursday, WAPA CEO Hugo Hodge gave an update on where the project is at now, and it's not all good news. News 2's April Knight has that story.
Project Game Changer, WAPA's poster project that's supposed to signal change in energy generation in the territory, is late. But WAPA CEO Hugo Hodge says the wait is worth it.
I still get goosebumps thinking about the benefits to the territory that this project is going to bring.
A year ago, WAPA signed a contract with Vitol Corporation to help create a propane facility. Back in April, a groundbreaking was held on a hillside on St. Thomas, heralding the coming of a 30% drop in LEAC costs and less pollution spewed into the atmosphere. But Hodge's update on Thursday somewhat dampened the excitement.
No, the first estimate was fourth quarter of 2014. Now we're at first quarter of 2015. It slipped a quarter. The adjusted schedule will not, and I repeat, will not impact the amount of savings expected for WAPA customers.
According to Hugo Hodge, the delay in the propane project is caused by factors like the weather on St. Croix and on St. Thomas, the sheer volume of earth that had to be dug from a mountain to make way for the propane facility. But change is coming, said Hodge. The facilities are being built, and most of the storage tanks have crossed the Atlantic to St. Croix. As for when WAPA ratepayers can expect a drop in the dreaded LEAC charges,
the LEAC that will include savings from this project will be the January LEAC, but more likely be approved by the PSC in December. They will start to see savings as early as January, depending on how or the percentage of it. They'll see most of it, if not all, in January.
Reporting for News 2, I'm April Knight.
And according to Hodge, they do not have numbers yet in terms of how the delay would affect the project's budget. We will keep you updated on WAPA's propane conversion. Governor John P. DeYoung Jr. said he was deeply saddened by news of the death of former U.S. Ambassador and Virgin Islands native son, Terrence Todman. And in Todman's honor, DeYoung has directed that flags on all public buildings in the Virgin Islands be flown at half-staff until sunset of the day of Todman's interment. We have lost a tremendous individual, DeYoung said, and son of our soil. He was a quiet force in our community and on so many levels. And with his constant outreach to students, community organizations, his nonprofit foundation, and most recently, the naming of a chair in his honor at the University of the Virgin Islands, his presence and influence will be with us forever. DeYoung noted that during a diplomatic career which spanned 4 decades, Todman served in nearly a dozen countries, 6 as a United States ambassador. During a decorated career, he rose to the rank of career ambassador, the State Department's highest position. He served for 3 years on the State Department's delegation to the United Nations. He held a variety of officer and advisory positions with the UN, particularly in the area of rural and economic development. Turning our attention overseas, President Obama interrupted his vacation to address the tension in Missouri following the fatal police shooting of an unarmed teenager. The remarks follow a 4th night of unrest. Police fired tear gas and smoke bombs at protesters in Ferguson, Missouri, after the crowd threw firebombs. Missouri's governor joined community leaders to ask for calm. The police department is drawing criticism for not releasing the name of the officer involved in the shooting of 18-year-old Michael Brown and for how it's handling the protests. But Ferguson's police chief says he's satisfied with the police response under the circumstances. Be sure to tune into CBS Evening News at 7:30 for the latest. Keeping our eye on the economy, new figures from the Labor Department show an increase in the number of people applying for unemployment benefits. About 311,000 Americans filed claims, and that's the highest number since last June. Despite this, analysts believe the job market is stable and slowly strengthening. Here's a look at the New York Stock Exchange with our stock market watch. The Dow, Nasdaq, S&P all up. The Dow 61, Nasdaq 18, S&P 8. Coming up on News 2, schools begin in the territory on September 2nd. We will share some back-to-school news to get students prepared with our special feature. Plus, our summer fun segment continues. We will leave you screaming on this 650 horsepower turbocharged boat. We'll be right back. We have all seen it at one point or another in the Charlotte Harbor, that big yellow boat. Many call it an unforgettable thrill ride of a lifetime on the ocean. On board the Screamin' Eagle, this 650 horsepower turbocharged jet boat will take you on an incredible high-speed trip. Now, after a brief orientation, you will cruise into the harbor while your captain gives a little local history lesson. Then it's off. Exhilarating speed, breathtaking 180-degree spins, fishtails, and power brake stops. Now, plan to spend approximately 45 minutes to 1 hour, and that's including your orientation, boat trip, and disembarking the vessel. All trips depart from either the Waco or Crown Bay dock. You can call 775-9360 for more information. Recording artist Kenya Eugene wants you to experience the sound of love. And she's inviting you to a benefit concert coming up, presented by the SOA Group and Kidscope. The Christian singer has performed on the same stage as Morgan Heritage, Desiree, and she is open for artists such as Wycliffe Jean, Big Mountain, and is open for and performed with India Ari.
We're putting on this concert so that we are able to benefit Kidscope. Not only myself, I decided that when I released my album, I wanted it to be more than just like a release party. So we decided to do a concert, and I brought the entire concept to my management team, and we decided, I've always been wanting to do something in the community to benefit others and not just myself. So I said, well, if I'm going to do it up big and I'm going to do a concert, why not help somebody else in the process, you know? And we threw a bunch of different names around, and ultimately we decided to go with Kidscope because I love the work that they're doing in the community.
As we all know, our territory is experiencing a lot of financial challenges, and especially nonprofit agencies, and we have to be creative and innovative, but money always helps for agencies like Kidscope because the need is always there. Yes. The need is always there.
Time for your back-to-school checklist. For those students attending the St. Croix Educational Complex High School, here's your schedule there. Brief sessions will be held for students and parents or guardians to take ID pictures and for payment of school fees for the school year 2014-2015. Now, 12th graders, your date is August 18th from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. 11th graders, August 19th, and then from 9 to 12 noon. 9th graders and 10th graders, August 20th, from 9 to 12 noon. Again, ID pictures will be taken and distributed for a fee of $15. Other fees to be collected are for school insurance, which is $15, and student locker at $10. Students should bring along padlocks to secure the lockers upon assignment. Summertime is beach time, and our shores are alive with tiny creatures and shells that wash upon our shores every day like precious gifts from the sea. Now, if you purchased a sheet, it was your opportunity to win a treasure of your own with the VI Lottery Beach Treasures ticket. Here are the winning numbers.
The VI Lottery presents draw results of today's drawing on News 2. Here are the top prizes. Fifth prize for $20,000, 09190, 09190. Fourth prize for $30,000, 21156, 21156. Third prize for $40,000, 18031, 18031. Second prize for $65,000, 29795, 29795. And the grand prize for $175,000 is 03810, 03810. If your ticket number wasn't called, keep trying. One of these days, your number could win. The next drawing is August 28th. Play the VI Lottery and imagine the possibilities.
And good luck as you check those tickets. Be sure to stick around. Your News 2 AccuWeather forecast comes your way next.